Imagine being told you were too small to play football, having your own teammates trash your name, and seeing your career spiral into obscurity. For Jayden Daniels, this wasn't just a story, it was his reality. Yet somehow, he turned it all around, winning the Heisman Trophy and cementing himself as the NFL's next great quarterback. How did he overcome it all? What's the secret behind his meteoric rise? Jayden Daniels' story begins in San Bernardino, California, a city that has seen its share of struggles. Born on December 18, 2000, Jayden grew up in a world where football wasn't just a sport, it was a lifeline. His father, Jayden Daniels, had played defensive back at the collegiate level, and from an early age, Jayden was immersed in the game. But unlike his father, Jayden didn't dream of intercepting passes. He wanted to throw them. This desire to control the game, to make decisions, would define his journey. His determination was evident even as a child. At the age of 7, Jayden told his father he wanted to be a quarterback. His father, knowing the challenges ahead, asked if he was prepared for the responsibility, the scrutiny, and the hard work that came with the position. Jayden didn't flinch. He wanted the ball in his hands, to be the one making the plays. It was a bold decision for someone so young, but it hinted at the mental toughness that would become his trademark. Growing up in San Bernardino wasn't easy. Once a thriving industrial hub, the city had fallen on hard times, with poverty, crime, and unemployment shaping the lives of its residents. Jayden's parents, despite separating when he was young, worked tirelessly to provide for him. His mother, Regina Jackson, juggled multiple jobs while staying deeply involved in her son's education and sports. His father became his first coach, instilling in him the discipline and focus needed to excel. Jayden's athleticism was apparent early on. He excelled in multiple sports, including basketball and track, but football was his true calling. By the time he reached Cajon High School, his talent was undeniable. Yet there was a problem: his size. At just 125 pounds, Jayden was deemed too small to play varsity football as a freshman. His coaches saw his potential, but doctors refused to clear him, citing concerns for his safety. Undeterred, his family sought a second opinion, and eventually, Jayden was allowed to play. Once on the field, Jayden made an immediate impact. As the starting quarterback, he led his team with a poise far beyond his years. His freshman season was a revelation, as he guided Cajon to the playoffs against opponents 3 years his senior. It wasn't just his skill that stood out, it was his composure. Coaches marveled at how he read defenses, avoided turnovers, and made clutch plays. By his junior year, he was rewriting record books, setting a state record for total offense in a single season with 6,431 yards. But Jayden's journey wasn't without hardship. During his sophomore year, he broke a finger on his throwing hand, a potentially devastating injury for any quarterback. Instead of sitting out, Jayden played through the pain, leading his team to another successful season. His resilience became a defining trait, earning him the respect of his teammates and the admiration of scouts. By the time he graduated, Jayden had thrown for over 14,000 yards and accounted for 211 touchdowns, a performance that ranked among the best in California. High school history. Major programs like Alabama, Ohio State, and LSU vied for his commitment. Yet Jayden chose Arizona State University, surprising many who expected him to join a powerhouse program. His reasoning was simple: he wanted to play immediately. At SLU, he would have the chance to start as a freshman, and he seized that opportunity. Jayden's early years were marked by sacrifice and support from his family. His grandfather, a constant presence in his life, drove him to practices and games, often offering wisdom and encouragement. When Jayden's grandparents passed away during his college years, it was a profound loss that tested his mental fortitude. Yet, their influence remained a source of strength as he pursued his dreams. For Jayden, every obstacle from being overlooked due to his size to facing family tragedy was a chance to prove himself. His journey to college football stardom was fueled by a desire not just to succeed, but to represent his family. his city, and every young athlete told they weren't good enough. It wasn't just about making it to the next level. It was about proving that no barrier was insurmountable. Jayden Daniels' decision to attend Arizona State University was driven by his desire to start immediately. While most high-profile quarterbacks chose powerhouse programs with established legacies, Jayden opted for an underdog path. At Arizona State, he saw a chance to prove himself on the field from day one. He was ready to silence those who doubted whether his high school success could translate to the next level. As a true freshman, Jayden delivered on his promise. He became the first true freshman in SU history to start a season opener, and his debut against Kent State was electric. His ability to stay composed under pressure and make plays with both his arm and legs was evident. That season, he threw for 2,943 yards and 17 touchdowns with only 2 interceptions, showing an uncanny ability to protect the ball. It was a freshman year that turned heads across the nation. But the defining moment of his freshman campaign came in a nationally televised game against the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks. Facing off against future NFL star Justin Herbert, Jayden stunned the nation. He threw for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading SU to a shocking upset that eliminated Oregon from playoff contention. It was a moment that cemented him as one of college football's most exciting young talents. However, as with any journey, success is often followed by challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic derailed college football in 2020, leaving Arizona State with a truncated 4-game season. This disruption stalled Jayden's momentum. Although he showed flashes of brilliance, including a dominant 70-7 victory over rival Arizona, the lack of consistent games made it difficult for him to build on his stellar freshman year. The 2021 season was supposed to be Jayden's redemption arc, but it became the most difficult year of his life. The NCAA launched an investigation into Arizona State's recruiting practices, implicating several staff members and even his own mother. The controversy cast a shadow over the program and affected team morale. On top of the external challenges, Jayden faced personal tragedy. In a span of weeks, he lost both of his grandparents, who had been instrumental in his upbringing. His grandfather, in particular, had been his biggest supporter, often driving him to practices and games. The grief was overwhelming. Jayden later admitted that his mental state affected his performance on the field. For the first time, the poised quarterback appeared rattled. That season, his play reflected the turmoil in his life. He threw for 2,381 yards, but his 10 touchdowns were matched by 10 interceptions, a stark contrast to his freshman efficiency. Fans and analysts criticized his decision-making and reliance on scrambling, accusing him of regressing. Arizona State's offense, once built around Jayden's dual threat capabilities, became disjointed and predictable. The criticism reached its peak when Jayden announced his decision to enter the transfer portal in early 2022. Despite releasing a video weeks earlier pledging to return to SU, he ultimately chose to seek a fresh start. The backlash was immediate. Teammates filmed themselves raiding his locker, calling him a quitter. Social media exploded with negativity, labeling him as overrated and selfish. For Jayden, it was a low point in his career. Yet, as he had done so many times before, Jayden used adversity as fuel. He transferred to LSU, a program with a storied legacy, but one that had struggled to find its footing since Joe Burrow's historic 2019 season. LSU represented a challenge on a national stage, exactly what Jayden needed to prove himself. Transitioning to the SEC wasn't easy. In his first year at LSU, Jayden had to adapt to a new system, teammates, and the relentless competition of college football's toughest conference. He ended the 2022 season with solid numbers: 2,913 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. He also rushed for over 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns, showcasing his versatility. Despite these achievements, critics questioned whether he could lead LSU to the heights it once reached. It was in 2023 that Jayden silenced all doubts. With improved mechanics and decision-making, he had one of the most remarkable seasons in college football history. He threw for 3,812 yards and 40 touchdowns, while rushing for over 1,100 yards and 10 more scores. His 50 total touchdowns shattered records and earned him the prestigious Heisman Trophy. Jayden's performance against Florida in 2023 was particularly legendary. He became the first player in FBS history to throw for over 350 yards and rush for 200 yards in the same game. It was a display of dominance that underscored his status as a generational talent. Off the field, Jayden's growth as a leader was evident. At LSU, he not only found a supportive community, but also rebuilt his confidence. He credited conversations with head coach Brian Kelly for teaching him to trust his instincts and play with conviction. The bond with his teammates grew stronger as they rallied around him during critical moments. By the end of his college career, Jayden had gone from a polarizing figure at Arizona State to one of the most celebrated players in LSU history. His decision to transfer, once criticized, was now seen as the turning point that saved his career. Jayden Daniels' college journey was a roller coaster of highs and lows, triumphs and heartbreaks. Yet, through it all, he emerged stronger, proving that resilience and self-belief can overcome even the darkest moments. It was this resilience that prepared him for the ultimate challenge, the NFL. The year 2023 will forever be etched in Jayden Daniels' story as the season that changed everything. Coming off a promising yet unremarkable first season at LSU, few expected what was to come. The once embattled quarterback was about to deliver one of the most electrifying seasons in college football history. Not only would he rewrite records, but he would also cement his legacy as one of the sport's all-time greats. The turning point came early in the season when Daniels showed signs of growth that extended beyond the stat sheet. His mechanics were sharper, his decision-making quicker, and his confidence palpable. Head coach Brian Kelly spoke openly about Daniels' transformation, crediting his relentless work ethic and willingness to embrace constructive criticism. He became the heartbeat of this team, Kelly remarked. Every snap, you could feel his control of the game. Daniels' dual threat abilities reached new heights in 2023. He not only led the nation in passing touchdowns with 40, but also became the first FBS quarterback to pass for over 3,500 yards and rush for more than 1,100 in a single season. His 10 rushing touchdowns further highlighted his versatility, making him a nightmare for defenses. One of the defining moments of Daniels' season came in a game against the Florida Gators. That night, he became the first player in FBS history to throw for over 350 yards and rush for 200 yards in the same game. It wasn't just the numbers that stood out, but the sheer dominance with which he dismantled a highly talented six-seek defense. He ran past defenders like they were standing still, and his passes threaded needles, leaving analysts and fans alike in awe. The accolades poured in, but Daniels remained grounded. He often credited his family and upbringing for his perseverance, pointing to the values instilled by his parents. His father's lessons about mental toughness, never too high, never too low, rang true as he navigated the pressure cooker of SEC football. Daniels wasn't just playing for himself. He was playing for San Bernardino, for his late grandparents, and for every kid who had been told they were too small, too fragile, or too different. Off the field, Daniels emerged as a leader. His LSU teammates described him as a steadying presence in the locker room. He organized extra practice sessions, stayed late reviewing game film, and made it a point to bond with players from all positions. It was no longer just about his personal success. Daniels wanted to elevate everyone around him. "He makes you want to play better," one teammate said. "You don't want to let him down." By the time the Heisman Trophy ceremony arrived, Daniels was the favorite. As his name was called, he stepped up to the podium with a quiet confidence, delivering a heartfelt speech that reflected on his journey. "This isn't just my trophy," he said. "It belongs to every coach, teammate, and family member who believed in me when no one else did." The standing ovation lasted nearly a minute. With his college career complete, the next chapter beckoned, the NFL. Daniels entered the 2024 NFL draft as one of the most highly anticipated prospects. Analysts marveled at his accuracy, composure, and ability to extend plays, often comparing him to Lamar Jackson for his explosive rushing ability and Patrick Mahomes for his improvisational skills. While Caleb Williams was widely expected to go first overall, Daniels was right behind him, generating buzz as a potential franchise-changing talent. The Washington Commanders made Daniels the second overall pick, a decision that electrified their fan base. For a franchise with a long history of quarterback struggles, Daniels represented hope. The moment he walked onto the stage in Commanders colors, the weight of expectation was palpable. But if there was anyone who could handle it, it was Jayden Daniels. Training camp provided the first glimpse of Daniels' potential as an NFL quarterback. Coaches marveled at his poise, describing him as a rare competitor who quickly earned the respect of veterans. His ability to process defenses and execute under pressure stood out. One assistant coach remarked, "You either have a guy or you don't. With Jayden, we have a guy." Daniels' first preseason games only heightened the excitement. His combination of pinpoint accuracy and jaw-dropping athleticism was on full display. A 25-yard scramble in his debut became a viral highlight, showcasing his ability to turn broken plays into game-changing moments. The Commanders had a long road ahead, but for the first time in years, the path forward felt bright. As the regular season began, Daniels faced immense scrutiny. Could he succeed in a league that had chewed up and spat out countless rookie quarterbacks? The answer came quickly. Through his first 4 games, Daniels completed over 80% of his passes, setting an NFL record for accuracy over that span. He also led 23 scoring drives, more than any other quarterback during the same stretch. His calm demeanor under pressure became a hallmark, silencing critics who questioned whether he was NFL ready. Beyond the stats, Daniels brought a sense of identity to the Commanders. Fans, long disillusioned with the franchise, began to believe again. His connection with star wide receiver Terry McLaurin became one of the league's most exciting duos, with highlight reel plays that dominated sports headlines. But more than the wins, it was Daniels' humility and work ethic that won over the city. Jayden's NFL journey is only beginning, but the foundation has been laid. For a player who was once dismissed as a bust, his rise to Heisman Trophy winner and FL star is nothing short of extraordinary. He's not just rewriting his own story, he's inspiring a new generation of players who dare to dream big. If you've been inspired by Jayden Daniels' incredible journey from an overlooked high school quarterback to an NFL star, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this one. Jayden's tale is far from over, and together we'll continue following his rise, one remarkable chapter at a time. Jayden Daniels' story isn't just about football. It's about resilience, redemption, and the power of belief. His path has been anything but linear, marked by triumphs that defied expectations and setbacks that would have broken many others. Yet, each obstacle became a stepping stone, shaping the young quarterback into the poised leader he is today. What makes Jayden's rise so special isn't just the records he's broken or the awards he's won. It's the way he's carried himself through it all with humility, determination, and a quiet confidence that resonates far beyond the field. From his days of facing doubters about his size in high school to enduring personal losses and criticism at Arizona State, Jayden never let the noise define him. Instead, he let his game speak for itself. The support of his family has been the backbone of his success. His parents taught him the value of hard work and staying even-keeled in the face of adversity. His grandparents instilled in him a sense of pride and purpose, lessons that still guide him every time he steps onto the field. When Jayden points to the sky after a touchdown, it's a tribute to the loved ones who believed in him before anyone else. Now, as the Washington Commanders franchise quarterback, Daniels is rewriting what it means to succeed under pressure. His ability to inspire a long disenchanted fan base has already made him a cultural icon in the NFL. Yet, for Jayden, it's never been about fame or fortune, it's about legacy. "I want to be remembered as someone who made a difference," he said in a recent interview. And so far, he's doing just that. Jayden's journey also carries a message for every young athlete striving for greatness. Setbacks don't define you, they prepare you. Whether it was the heartbreak of losing his grandparents, the ridicule he faced during his transfer, or the pressure of leading a struggling franchise, Jayden proved that persistence and self-belief can overcome even the toughest challenges. As we look to the future, The question isn't whether Jayden Daniels will succeed, it's how far he'll go. Can he lead the Commanders to their first Super Bowl victory in decades? Will he redefine the quarterback position for the modern era? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. Jayden has already inspired countless fans with his story of perseverance and excellence. So, what do you think? Is Jayden Daniels destined to become one of the all-time greats? Or is his best yet to come? Let us know your thoughts below. And as always, stay tuned for more incredible stories from the world of football.